The latest numbers for the Durham Region housing market have been released for November 2023. Prices are back down last month, significantly in some areas. So let's get into some numbers to see what this all means for you as a would-be buyer, seller, or a homeowner in the Durham region. If we haven't met yet, my name is Vilija Truelove. I'm a local Durham Region real estate agent with almost 20 years experience. All my contact information is included below. Reach out anytime through email, text, or phone. I'd love to help you with your move too. So the average price in the Durham region for all home types in November was $883,115. This is down from just over $931,000 that we saw in October. So overall, we're down just over $48,000. Over this past year, we saw the price climb steadily from January to June, a few months of price drops from July to September, back up in October. Now we're down again. The average price in January 2023 was $886,849. So through all the ups and downs, we've landed just $3,734 below where we started the year. Based on what typically happens in December with the slowing of the market because of the holiday season, as well as what's happening with all the other numbers, we may see a further drop in prices this month and end the year even lower. With that being said, the Bank of Canada just announced that it will continue to hold the benchmark rate steady at 5%, and many economists are predicting rates to start dropping next year. Many people assume this means prices will start climbing again. So could this push some buyers off the fence early? We'll have to see. Now, looking at specific areas, we actually saw price increases in Pickering and Ajax, just under $5,000 increase in Pickering, bringing the average price to just over $944,000, and just over $36,000 increase for Ajax, bringing the average price to over $988,000. Whitby, Oshawa, and Clarington all saw the average price decrease. Whitby saw a decrease of over $77,000, bringing the average price to just over $949,000. Oshawa saw a drop of over $48,000, bringing the average price to just under $756,000. And Clarington saw the biggest drop in price. They fell over $82,000 to make the average price just over $831,000. So are we in a buyer's market yet? According to the numbers, we actually aren't. First, let's look at months of inventory. For October, it was at about 3 months overall in the Durham region. We actually went down to about 2.7 months of inventory in November. This is calculated by dividing the total number of homes for sale by the total number of homes sold. So typically, the greater the months of inventory or supply means there are more sellers than buyers, also known as a buyer's market. And the lower the months of supply there are more buyers and sellers, and market conditions would be considered to be in seller's market territory. In between is a balanced market. Most would consider a balanced market to be between 4 and 6 months of inventory, and we're now under 3 again. Sales to new listings ratio is another number we can look at to try to figure out what kind of market we're in. This divides the number of sales by the number of new listings. This percentage also increased from 33.4% up to 42.8%. Typically around 50% is considered a balanced market. Going lower is getting into buyer's market territory. Higher is seller's market. So why are we seeing numbers that seem to be working in favor of sellers, yet prices are down? Well, first, we saw only 1,262 new listings in November. That's way down from the 1,761 we saw in October. We ended the month with 1,453 active listings, down from 1,770 in October. But all of those homes also didn't sell. There were 674 terminated listings in the Durham region in November. Some of these would have come back on the market at higher or lower prices. Some would have decided to just not sell right now or won't sell at all. Compare this to the beginning of the year. We had only 250 terminated listings in January, 208 in February. This number was quite low throughout the first part of the year and started to climb in the spring. We were up to 346 in May. By June, we were at 517, 680 in September, and 787 in October. So the last few months have been seeing a lot of terminated listings. This number can mean a few things. Sometimes it's just sellers trying different prices. They might price low for multiple offers and not get what they expected, so they terminate the listing instead of doing a price change and put it back on the market at what they actually hope to get. Same goes for if they started a little too high. Terminating the listing and then putting it back on the market makes it look like a new listing on the MLS and restarts the days on market. If you just do a price change, the days on market will just keep adding on. So it's a strategy to gain more activity and excitement for the listing. There were 540 sales in all of the Durham region in November. This is down from the 588 sales we saw in October. So while the months of inventory technically indicates a seller's market and sales to new listing ratio has increased, we're not seeing as many homes that come on the market actually sell. This could be why the indicators don't really add up to what we're seeing out there. Days on market has increased slightly to 19 on average, up from 17 in October. This number doesn't take into account what I mentioned before, if someone takes the house off the market and relists. So it's a little bit skewed in that way. A house could have been listed 3 times at different prices. This will only take into account the time it listed and actually sold. Buyers and sellers will notice more properties sitting for even longer than the average days on market. What I'm seeing as well is if you have a motivated seller, price drops are happening a lot faster. People often are only giving it a week or a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks. And if they don't have enough interest, they drop it if they really want or need to sell. We've also officially seen the sale price to list price ratio fall under 100%. We were at 99% average in the Durham region in November, down from 101% in October. Pickering and Whitby are still at 100% on average. You may still see a home you like set an offer date. However, in some cases, it's not because the seller expects to get multiple offers and over asking price, but simply to allow a few days for properly marketing the property. That's also why you may see the 24 or 48-hour irrevocable time for offers, making sure that enough buyers are able to get in to see the house before the seller accepts an offer. The consensus amongst most other real estate agents I've spoken to, as well as buyers and sellers that are active in the market right now, is that the market is weird. You will see some properties unexpectedly at times still getting 6 offers. Then you'll see another gorgeous home that you would expect to sell quickly have to do a price drop. We're still often seeing sellers attempting to price low for multiples, not get what they thought they would, and then increasing the asking price by even $100,000. And we're also seeing sellers use a strategy and it works for them. It's just not the guarantee it once was. If a seller is motivated and they've done the right things, it's probably still going to sell. It may have to be for less than expected though. On the flip side, there are still buyers that are out there that are aggressively looking for homes. And if a buyer really loves a property, they'll pay full asking or over. So for buyers, you want to be prepared. Get your mortgage pre-approval. I'm also seeing a lot more deals fall apart on financing. You don't want to be that person. Get your pre-approval in advance so there are no surprises. Research the neighborhood well to see what's happening with prices in that specific area. If you find yourself unexpectedly in a multiple offer situation, remember that in most cases, at least, even when something goes into multiple offers, buyers are typically not going crazy like they were. I'm seeing cases where there are multiple offers and the house doesn't even sell because none of the buyers brought an offer the seller was willing to accept. You will find more options out there that aren't holding offers and more sellers that are willing to negotiate. But also don't be afraid to pay asking price if you feel it's priced properly and you love the home. Also, this is the quietest time we've seen in a very long time for buyers. If you're on the fence about buying a home, you might want to take advantage of this time before the other buyers possibly jump in after the rate drops. If you're selling, staging, professional photography, and online and traditional marketing are all necessary. But pricing will still be the most important factor. When buyers are looking at purchasing in a possibly declining market, you may need to stay one step ahead. You'll need to look at what's happening in the neighborhood you're selling in, as well as your comfort level to determine the best pricing strategy. Reach out anytime with questions, or if you're ready to get the home buying or selling process started, all of my contact information is included below. Reach out anytime. And don't forget to subscribe for more about the market and what the Durham region has to offer. Thanks so much for watching.